Hello, and welcome to another episode of All About Moments. I have a song, but I'm not going to sing it because we're talking about leadership and professionalism, so I'm putting on my professional hat today. But just know the song is She Works Hard for the Money.
Ooh. Okay.
All right, so yes, we are very excited to have a guest here today. So we're going to put on our best manners. We have Miss Karen here. I want to say Dr. Karen. I don't even know if that's something that you have going on. Are you a doctor?
So funny. I actually was working on a doctorate, but I stopped. But it's
I
all good.
knew it. You got it all on you. You got it. It's taking everything out of me not to call you Dr. Karen. Okay, so
Mhm.
we have
Mhm.
Dr. Karen Elect. Is that what it Elect? Here joining us today. And please just welcome to All About Moments and share with us a little bit about yourself. Greet us.
Well, let's see. First of all, I want to thank you, lovely ladies, for having me. I just think this is so cool that this is a Sunday evening. Most people would be doing something else. And the fact that you guys, are friends and you all just come together, because before we were trying to get in, I was just hearing laughter and talking, and I think that's so cool. It's like, girlfriends just kicking it and having a good time. I just commend you. I want you all to make sure that you maintain
Mhm.
that spirit, that energy, and keep doing that. Despite what happens, how the show moves or when it moves, it will move. You just need to keep that spirit, because
Mhm.
that's what's important. We need to laugh. I love to laugh, as Abby will tell you. I believe laughter is the best medicine. And so the fact that you guys could come together and just kick it on a Sunday evening instead of worrying about what's happening tomorrow or what else is happening, I think this is cool. So I want to say that. Thank you. And
Yes. Thank
Abby's
you.
one of my, I don't know. She's like, I don't know. Abby's like a little goddaughter, I guess. But the thing I love about Abby is she's so brilliant, so brilliant, but she doesn't know it. And and so we have to keep reminding her. And so I love the fact that she's finally followed through and has gotten to this point. So I am kudos to you, Miss Abby. I've always got your back and I'm always supporting you. So when you told me to come on your show today, despite it being my birthday weekend and I should be celebrating, I'm like, okay, it's Abby. I'll do it. And here I
Thank
am.
you.
So thank you for having me here. I'm just here to support in any way I can, as you know. And who am I? Karen Yeates. She's a she's a leader, a coach, a mentor, a friend, a transformational leader. She's a woman who is not afraid of taking on any challenges. She is willing to excel in order to elevate. Hence, that's the name of my company. I believe we need to excel. And how do we excel? We continuously improve ourselves. Whatever that means, whether it's by education, by looking back, having a conscious, utilizing your internal compass, your what guides you, right? Obviously connecting to your higher power, whether you call that God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, but making sure that it's something outside of yourself, and just being you, just being the God given you, the talents that you didn't give yourself, but you enhance it just by being obedient and just being authentic. So that's who I am. And I hope that when I speak or when I share, that that's what people get from me. And that's what I'm here to do today. Leadership is what I always say. It's not about me, but it's about the people I lead. So if I am in a position where I can support anybody and help them to grow, that's what I'll do. And thank you so much for the opportunity to do that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Karen. So I just have a quick icebreaker. When was a time, ladies, that you ever felt like a leader? When have you ever, whether it was grade school, a job, a organized event, somebody put you in charge of cookout, charge of the cookout. When have you ever felt like a leader? I'm gonna go first. Two things. So I'm the oldest daughter. And my parents, they, if it wasn't going to church, then they wasn't organizing it. Okay. So I was like, we are going on a family vacation. It was my senior year in high school. I was getting ready to go to college and I was like, we're going somewhere. And I had, got a little money. And then my parents put some money together and I organized the whole trip, from the rental car to the hotel to everything. And it went very smoothly. It went very well. I did overdraft the account, but we handled it when we got home. My parents was like, "Whoa, now." But other than that, it was very good. And then my second thing was, when I worked at the Boys and Girls Club, they put me over the education director. Oh, they gave me a little title and a little shirt. Okay. I was
Can't
the
tell you
leader.
nothing.
Couldn't tell me anything. Then I had staff on the back with a whistle.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm, don't play with me. I'm the
No.
leader. Yeah, so that is my takeaway about leadership. What about y'all? When was the time that you ever felt like a leader?
Marie, go ahead.
Mm, oh God, let's see. I mean, I've always like taking lead in different roles. That's just been my personality. Um, I mean, whether like work, I have leadership roles and I supervise, to like within my family. Like I'm always planning, like you said, like family trips are, if there's an issue within the family, I'm de-escalating and I'm getting everyone together and trying to figure out what's going on and how we, you know,
Yeah.
resolve it. Right, like very solution based. We're not gonna fix everybody's problems, but how we move on from now. Um, so yeah, like I've always been a leader. That's just my type of personality. So
And Abby?
I feel like one thing, it's so funny. All of us, well, at least I know the three of us, we are all leaders in our family as the firstborn. We're literally all, that's kind of interesting. I just realized now. That's maybe I realized it before and years ago. But so we were born with that in a way because we're the first to carry everybody. Sometimes that's a good, sometimes that's a hard thing to carry in our back. But for me, I think same thing too. It was a little natural for me. I think one thing that did help me though is that one day I think I have some interesting parents. That's the best way to say it. And they just said, "Oh, my daughters will do it." And it's just, okay. So we just had to step in. I think from just forcing us to be challenged us, that's when it started to form for me to just always be stepping up. So, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm actually the fourth child of my mom. But it's funny, I've always been in the leadership role for some reason. There's three people ahead of me, and there was two after me. One passed, the last our last sister passed, and so six girls, and I'm the fourth girl that my mom had. And but somehow I'm always the one who was a mediator. I'm the one who is, you know, bringing everybody together. Let's have this meeting, let's do this. I can plan, I can organize. And it's so funny, when I was younger, I didn't like being in that role. I liked it because it was kind of like a natural thing for me. I just always stepped up. I always raised my hand. If there was something to get done, I would always be, I'll do it. I'll do it. And it could have been because selfishly, I felt I could do it better than everybody. And I think because of the fact that I felt I could do it better than everybody, it forced me to do good. And that forced me to become a better leader because I always want to make sure that I did better the next time. So I think sometimes, you're not like, you guys were born as the eldest. So you kind of automatically was the leader. But when you're not the eldest and you take up the mantra, it's because you want to prove that you can do it. And I think if you look at the roles that we're in at work, or in society, sometimes we're not the first, right? But we have to step out from behind wherever we are and step up and be a leader. You're not the first person at the job to lead the team, but when they put you in that role, you have to step up and be the leader. Or even if you are not You may not know everything, but you still have to do with the knowledge that you have, you still have to do your best. And I think so I would always encourage people, take the chance, step up, raise your hand, take the initiative. Just today I was speaking to my niece in DC, and her mom was telling me that she's complaining that she's been given an internship, which means no money, and she didn't want to do it. And I'm like, be a leader, step in and do it, despite the fact that you're not getting paid, because what you're going to gain in the long run is going to be better for you. And it shows that you're stepping up and you're taking initiative and you're being a leader. So it was so funny. I just had that conversation today. So leadership comes in so many ways, whether it's in a career or it's a personal life. But we can excel and become leaders if we see ourselves as carrying that responsibility. And
I
that is
agree. And it's also, just going along with that, setting the standard, that as well. Set a standard. Just like you were saying, if you could, nobody else could do it right. That made you set a standard for yourself and for other people behind you to know, like, this is how we're going to do it, or this is how it should be done, or, something that could help represent you more, and then they can follow a greater path. Especially with the young lady doing the internship, it may not a standard within herself as well. Like, you are disciplined enough now to be on a job without pay. You are setting the standard for yourself, knowing that you can, do a job
right.
in the future. That's good. Anything else you ladies have? Oh, okay. So I do want to go into this, and I want to know, when it comes to us being leaders, I know Mary mentioned something about de-escalating situations, but how do you empower others, when it comes to leadership? People have differences, whether it's in your community at work, or whether it's in your home with your family. I know we just got off a family vacation. There was a lot of differences. So just, what are differences when it comes to empowering others? Now that we know that we have leadership skills, how do we empower other people?
So who's gonna take that?
I think you should, Karen.
Okay, so I think I'm the speaker tonight, right? So
Okay.
in terms of leadership skills, first of all, you're not born with leadership skills, right? A lot of people seem to think that they're born leaders. No, you're not. It's a learned skill. And sometimes you're thrown into it. You're thrown into it, like you guys were. You were the eldest, so somehow somebody expected you to take charge. And that's great, right? But even though you might be the eldest and you're expected to take charge, doesn't mean that you're a leader. It means that you're just the eldest. So what I think people should do is empower themselves and step in and do it. And I think as leaders, in order for you to be an effective leader, you definitely need to empower others. It should not always be about you. And I think that's where a lot of people I see nuances with people who are in leadership positions, and they want to do everything. I want to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. But what about doing just what you're good at? And then recognizing the others to do what they're good at and let them get the shine, because it's not about, it's definitely, yes, like I mean, like I said, in my case, I stepped up and I wanted to raise my hand and I wanted to do good, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't telling my sister, I want you to do it next time, or I'm going to push you to do it. It means that you could recognize that ability in other people. I think leaders need to be able to recognize ability in other people and empower them to be leaders in their own right. It may not be exactly like you, because everybody leads from a different place. Like me, for one, I call myself the leader with heart, right? I have a newsletter. It's called Leadership with Heart, and that's where I lead from. So when I empower you, I'm empowering you because I really, in my heart, believe that you can do this. So if we can just lead with our heart, recognize that everybody is a leader in their own right somehow, then you can empower people without fear of it taking anything from yourself. And I think that's why people don't empower other people, because they think that they're losing something. I see the opposite. The more I give is actually the more the universe gives me. So I'm always ready to give. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think, really helping people find their own like strengths and their abilities, right? And that's the way that you empower others. Because I think like even just taking leadership out of it, we can all be really hard on ourselves, whether it's in the workplace or at home, in our community settings that we are in, right? Like we can be really hard and suffer from negative talk. So having someone that comes in and reminding us of like our talents and our abilities and our strengths, right? Right there can like empower them and even in areas that people do need to grow in, I think you could criticize them, but coming from a place of like you said, leading with heart, but showing them their strength and then how they can like duplicate that in some areas of that they may need to grow in, right? Because we're always not going to be great at every single thing. So sometimes we do have to help another person, like in a situation where they may need to grow in that area. But it's how you communicate to them about it, right? How do you critique them? So it should, yeah, definitely come from a place of love and um, not just wanting to hurt someone's feelings.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, or humble them or something. Because I think some leaders can be very like, oh, I got to put you in your place so you can know your role and we're not.
Well, I think anytime somebody's stepping up trying to make somebody feel bad because I'm the leader and I need to show you I'm the leader, then you're not leading anybody,
Mm-mm.
right? You're not, and nobody's following you either. So the other thing about leadership is vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
A brave leader, right? If you want to lead, the first thing you got to do is be able to be led as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
got to be able to know that you should be somebody should be able to lead you. And so once you do that, then you can see that you are vulnerable because you know that there's somebody you're looking up to. Somebody else is a mentor for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this one workshop I give. It's called Brave Leadership, and it's where I teach leaders to be authentic and to be not and to be so authentic and so vulnerable that they literally will take criticism if somebody has to criticize them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to say, I don't think you did it, I don't like how you did that, right? Or can we discuss that because it might need some assistance, it might need some help, your delivery, whatever that is. And I think once you recognize that it's okay to be vulnerable, and that clarity is kindness, that when you are clear with people and they are clear with you, everything falls into place. That's the kind of leader you want to be. You want to lead from the heart with bravery and authenticity. And I think then empowering others. And the one other thing I want to add is empathy, right? Being able to put yourself in other people's shoes because you lead me when you don't even understand where I'm coming from, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. So I think
Yeah.
we also need to have empathy for
Right.
the people that we lead as
And I think leaders should be able
well.
to learn from others, even the people that they're supervising or managing,
Mhm.
right? Because you don't know. I mean, as a leader, you don't know everything. And
Mm-mm.
so I think one of the things that made me respect my supervisor even more was that he was able to acknowledge where he was wrong and say, like, hey, Mayor, I apologize. I know that I was arguing with you about this, but I was able to check it and you were right, right? Like, instead of, that he was, like we make mistakes sometimes. And so being able to learn from the people around you, because again, we all bring our own talents and abilities, and the leader doesn't have everything.
That's interesting.
I
And
think
what about a leader? Let me ask a question. What about a leader who will not apologize despite the fact that you have shown them where they were wrong? What do you call that? Is that still a leader?
Hmm.
What do you call that person?
And I don't think I necessarily needed him to apologize. I think it was to acknowledge maybe like where like not saying oh Mayor I'm sorry, but to say like okay to come back instead of like these ten toes down on his plan that I know that that's not how billing works. and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to come back and say like, okay, you know what, Mary, like actually, you were right about this. I don't even say sorry or anything, but to be able to like actually take opportunity to do the research and recognize like, yeah, I do know where I'm coming from. I do have some, and so
So
yes, I
basically,
think not a dictator,
Yeah,
but a
I
leader.
think he's
Yeah,
still a leader. Yeah, I
yeah,
think even though they're wrong, they still are leaders.
mm-hmm,
Leaders that need workshops, but they are still leaders.
yes,
Um,
mm-hmm.
that just are not able to admit that they're wrong. They've gotten so high on the hog, or they need to humble themselves down. And we have leaders like that that just they're the almighty versus being able to relate to other people and showing that empathy, like you said, and being transparent.
But would
Mm-hmm.
you trust this person then?
No,
Oh no,
no, no,
absolutely not.
no,
So
no,
isn't
no.
leadership, so that's something we want to add,
Yeah,
right? That if you
yeah.
want to be a leader and you want to be an effective leader, people
Mm-hmm.
gotta trust you. Because if you are saying things that are not true and somebody reminds you or shows you, hey, that is not correct. I think I don't personally, I don't think that you should not apologize. You know why I say I think you should? I think you should show vulnerability, and even if it comes with the words "I'm sorry" behind it, and
Mhm.
because it shows the other person, first of all, that this person is human.
Mhm.
And I think we lose some leaders get into a space where I am a superpower, so I am not human anymore, right? I am above you, I'm not human. So they don't feel what you feel, and they don't try to feel what you feel. But what it loses the trust. And I don't know how you're going to follow somebody who you don't trust, or how you're not going to continue doing things on your own because you're not sure about this other person. So to me, I don't want to be that type of leader. I want somebody, if I'm going to go into the, if you, if we're, if there's a trench, I'm going in the trench with you, right? I'm not going to send you down there and I'm up here. Or I'm not going to tell you that I know there was a trench and I'm going to say, oh, I didn't know after you fell into it. And even if I say, hey, I'm in the trench, and you're like, well, I still don't see it. How do I trust you? So to me, a leader needs to have your back no matter what. A leader needs to support you, and a leader needs to have you trust them. And if you want to be a leader, the first thing you got to show is that people can trust you. Because I don't think people are going to follow people they don't trust. And
funny enough,
eventually, it creates sabotage. At somewhere the other,
I
you get that.
I agree with that, but funny
That's
enough, that I feel
true.
like some people don't even care. I feel like they just want to lead and they just don't care, which is the weird part about it.
I don't think they're leading actually, Abby. I think they're just being themselves, but they're not a leader. As I said, it's a learned skill. It's not something that you wake up and oh, I'm a leader today, or because
Right.
somebody gives you a role, or because you own a company, right? I think you have to, it's a learned skill. You have to learn to be a leader, and you have to go and figure out what type of leader you want to be, and then be that person. But
So I think
don't
it's the yeah,
assume it's going to just by osmosis you're a leader because either
but
you're
yeah,
or something,
yeah. Well, it's definitely like some people are giving their leadership role but don't know how to lead, right? Because obviously they're a leader, they own the business, or they're a supervisor or manager, and that's their title, and they're the leader, and but they don't know how to lead. They don't have those skills that Ms. Karen just discussed, and qualities and characteristics that we just talked about. But they're given a responsibility to lead over a group or lead a business, right? And we know how that ends up turning out. We know a lot of people that are in leadership positions that shouldn't be in leadership positions.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
true. That's
right
true. I
before we
agree.
continue, I wanted to take a little break, right? Give us
Okay.
a moment for a little bathroom break, a little water break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. All about moments. We're having so much fun. Please remember to like and subscribe. And also, you can follow me at Excel to Elevate LLC on YouTube. And you can look for me on LinkedIn as well. See you soon.
All right, welcome back. All right, Aisha, what you got for us next?
Yes. Okay. So, because we are all ladies, we're here together. We are professional women in our own spaces. I just have a question. Can women truly have it all in the professional success and then also thriving at home for those who are mothers or just at home with their families? What can we have it all? What are your feedback? What is your feedback about that?
Well, what is have it all, right? I think having it all means happy, being comfortable with who you are, being, as again, as I spoke about, authenticity is important to me, to having it all, whatever it is, career, family life, children, whatever that is, success. I believe we can navigate all of those and have it all because we know who we are and we know what we're about and we're comfortable in our skin. And that will mean different things for everybody. So the important thing is to let having it all represent what it means for you, not because me, it will mean something different for me from what it would mean from the ladies in this room. So I say it's an individual thing, and I think people get caught up with looking at the Joneses too much and looking across the fence and saying, "Well, they have that, I want it." No, I think having whatever it is should be personal to you.
Yeah, and just juggling multiple hats as, in our realities as women, we try to go on the girls' trips and, try to be that good church member, try to be the wife or the mother that we want to be. And then we also want to have our own personal lives. So just trying to make sure that we are staying sane, and people think, oh, well, you can't be a mom and work, or you can't, do this and do that and still have a professional work life. Something is going to be lacking. I don't think that's always the case. You have to have balance, and also a village of people who are willing to stand behind you. So you can have it all, just like Dr. K said, anything that is, on your heart that you want, you're able to go after it.
Good point.
Especially if you go ahead. What was you about to say?
I was like, that's a good point. You brought me back to thinking that um, sometimes I think going after all of these things that we want to achieve, uh, it can put so much stress on us. So I think the one thing I would say to women out there who are going for this all that they want, make sure that they balance, right? Because your mental health is also important. I know people, I've lost friends because of stress and because of not being able to balance all the stuff that the world asks us to do, right? And then we want to be so involved in all these things. We want to be the good girlfriend. We want to go on the trips. We want to be the good leader at work. We want to be the good wife and the good mother. We want to make sure the house looks the best. We want to look the best, the hair is on point, uh, that puts a lot of stress on people. And sometimes, even when we're in a group, we don't recognize that this is stressful to one of our friends or one of our colleagues. So going after this all that a lot of people want to go after, just be careful with balancing that with everything, with your mental health, and recognizing that I don't know who it is you're trying to prove anything to, right? Because if you are so going after all these things and then burnout is real. Burnout is so real. And so just be careful going after all, especially when it's tangible things like money and the house and the car and you know, and these trips or whatever it is people doing. When it's not relaxation, like, you asked me what I did for my birthday. Yeah, somebody was like, what did you do for your birthday yesterday? I literally just went to the spa, relaxed, had massages, and then I came home and I slept. And this was one of the quietest birthdays I've had, but I actually enjoyed it because I wasn't pressured to be anywhere. or to do anything or to be smiling, at the pool with the girls. I had some other plans, and things changed, but I was so happy to accept the new plan I made, which was just to be with myself.
That
That's
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So sometimes I think, what that's why I said, what is having it all, right? Because I
Right.
lost a friend earlier this year, and she and everybody would say she had it all.
Hmm.
We didn't know she was suffering from serious mental issues, and she took her
Yeah.
own life. So it's very important to be careful with this. I want to have it all, even
Yes. Right.
taking care of the family and the husband. Um,
Hmm.
we have husbands and we have children, and we want to do everything for everybody. But what about just stopping and taking care? And that's why I didn't feel bad yesterday. Just do it, just me. You
Right.
know.
Well, rest is a part of what we're supposed to do. And we as people, I would say women, we forget that. Like rest is just like we rip and run and do errands and pay the bills and, attend to our husband. That rest is a part of what we're supposed to do. And I was reading something that was saying that women don't really rest because, once we kind of slow our nerves down, we start to think about other things that could really be bogging us down. But we have to start implementing rest into our daily
Schedule.
routine. Yeah, into our schedule. Yeah. And it just makes you look better. It makes you feel better. And it allows you to become a better person once you get rest, honestly.
Yeah.
Um and then you were saying things and things, of course. So it just made me think of, the scripture. First of all, we're not supposed to be chasing things anyway. We want things to come to us. And I would say, me as a believer, I definitely like to implement Matthew 6 and 33 into my life because I'm going to first seek God, who is the kingdom, and then all the other things that I want, that's, a part of what I plan for, or what He has planned for me, is going to come to me. And I'm just satisfied for what I have now, knowing that greater things are coming. So I just want to balance, what's going on and be able to juggle the hats that I have. And um I remember when I was working part time, I had put a goal like, I'm working part time. I don't want to keep working part time. I know I can handle a full time job. I know I can handle it. I've done it before. You know, I'm gonna wait till Arya go to kindergarten. I'm gonna just make, and I put that goal out there. I prayed on it, and I ended up getting it, and it balanced right out because I knew I could handle a full time. I could handle being a wife. I could handle being a mother, and then also handle being, in the community as well, and then be with my homegirls. So I just we just have to, like you said, balance it, put what's important, and also sacrifice as well. Sometimes we do have to sacrifice certain things in order to, get certain stuff that we want.
So I
Yeah.
have a question though. I feel like as women, we always sacrifice because I hear that all the time, sacrifice, sacrifice. And then I don't see that sometimes you don't see it from the other side, or it's not. That's sometimes that can be maybe some people just don't. If you're telling people to just relax, sometimes it's hard to sacrifice and relax at the same time, isn't it? Because if you think about it, because sacrifice means I'm giving my all. That means I'm
Yeah.
doing something probably I don't want to do or I'm supposed to do or whatever. And I'm focusing on other people because I'm sacrificing for them.
Well, I mean, I guess it's
Whereas
like,
relaxing is this is me just relaxing
I
and
think
Well,
it's
you can
all about
sacrifice.
me.
I think you
I'm
can sacrifice.
the word with to me, sacrifice means you're giving up something, right? For somebody
Correct.
else.
You're giving up something to help other people. Whereas we're
No,
talking
you
about
can sacrifice for
relaxing.
yourself.
So you're giving up your time or your period of rest
To
to
help
assist someone
someone
else.
else. Correct.
Okay, that's fine. You do
But you
that,
can also can sacrifice for yourself. Like
but
I
you
can
can
say,
say,
yeah,
you can say, I'm going to sacrifice going with this group of people because I need to
rest.
rest.
Yeah, you can
mhm,
sacrifice for yourself. Yeah.
I
yes,
think
yeah,
that's a
say
good thing to
no by
yeah, I
saying
think
no to certain things, and
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
do
No
what
is
you really want to do.
no is one of my favorite words.
Mm-hmm.
I said no today and it didn't work, Dr. K.
No, but
Mm-hmm.
I did. I said no today and it did not work. I was
you
like,
you have to be serious about saying it though,
but
because
I did. I was serious.
your
I was
yes
like,
or no
no.
should be no.
And I think you have to look at the people that you surround yourself with, or the organizations you put yourself in. That if they don't understand no, right? If they don't understand those boundaries, or is that an organization or agency or friendship that you really want to be in? Because they should respect that. They shouldn't want to wear the people that are in their organization or that come into their church or their friends out. They shouldn't want them to burn out. They should understand that, like we would say just in a relationship, if I say no, no means no. So why is that not okay for other like agencies or
No
companies or
means
churches?
no. It's true.
Right.
It's
Why that's
true.
not good for my
And just
friend?
like you said, you may have the like you want to do it, but you just don't have the capacity of doing it. I remember when I was in high school, my freshman year, and this lady told me, she was like, if you're gonna join gospel choir, you better join it. Don't put us on the back burner. And I was like, oh, not back burner. Needless to say, I didn't join the gospel choir because I
Because you
but
would have put them on the back burner. So
yes, I would have put him on the back
but
burner.
you see, that's good. You recognize the capacity you had to do it. So why is it now you were younger then and you were able to figure out whether you could do something or not? You're older now with even more responsibilities and you still cannot figure out when you could say yes or no. So to me, sometimes I think I say that to Abby all the time. Don't you stop trying to be nice to people. If you're nice, you're nice, right?
Yeah,
You don't
that's
have to
true.
pretend to be nice because you want them to like you. They will like you if you say no as well. Because, like Mari said, why would you say yes without having the capacity? Then are you doing a good job? And then personally, me, I'm like this. If to me it's disrespectful to on both sides. One,
Hmm.
you tell somebody no and they keep handing you, then they're disrespecting you now. Right now, they're
Right,
not
that's
even
true.
listening to you. You're creating the
Right.
boundary and they're
Take my one.
flying
Yes.
it out of the way, kicking it out of the
Yes.
way. So now they're disrespecting you. But then when you go back, you just said no, and then you go back. So then why did you say no in the first place? So then you're
Yeah.
disrespecting them because you were made up a fake boundary for no reason. So that's the question
Yeah.
you ask yourself: who are you?
I
Right?
think
Yeah.
you're disrespecting yourself
Then you
because
Right.
you don't have to
right. You
play
just
the game. You don't have to play
right.
the game. Your yes is your yes, and your no is your no, and be done with
Yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
It
You're right.
sounds harsh, but it's the truth, right?
No, it absolutely it is. I agree. Yeah.
My nieces, and she would do the same thing. And then after she would kind of complain about it, I'm like, I don't want to hear that because you said that you're doing this. So don't come after and tell me, well, it was because of this. No, no, no. Let your yes be your yes. And then you cannot complain now. It was great. Because if it wasn't great, you wouldn't have done it.
Yes, ma'am.
Check yourself.
I know me, one thing that I did, everyone always laughs whenever I say, but I have retired from the choir like 3 times. I think in every single church I've been in, I have retired, and I've come back in the same
Yeah.
churches. I said I am retiring. My pastor would look at me, and I retired. I literally stepped back. I would still come, maybe even some to choir practice sometimes, do prayers and everything, but apart from that, anything I couldn't do, I retired, and
So
then
you
I would come back
reapply,
again. Yeah,
so you
one time
reapply
I
for the
go
position,
ahead.
and then so you reapply, and then they rehire you.
They rehired me. I retired, and then I rehired me to choir.
What's wrong with us? What's wrong with
Yeah,
us?
because oh yeah, the church I'm going to now. I said I'm about to retire again. The choir director is saying again, when did you retire the first time? I said, oh, you forgot? That's
Yeah,
even
they don't take
better.
you serious. They don't take you serious.
Well, they'll take you seriously, Abby, because you still going
Exactly.
to
I just do so
because
much, so
right.
much.
I
I
So it's
agree.
like,
You need to retire.
oh,
but it's funny enough though. It's good to serve. Like it's good to help.
it
It is.
is.
But
I
then,
agree.
like y'all
I
said,
do
the
it for God.
capacity. Yeah, the capacity is the big thing. And I know I always continuously, when I care is like, do you have the capacity? Even if I don't have the capacity, she's like, you don't have the capacity. I'm like, I think I do. You don't have the capacity. And it's true. Sometimes, even when we think we do have the capacity, we probably really don't. And we're just overstretching ourselves. Have you all ever seen a rubber band? When you keep stretching a rubber band and stretching it and stretching it and stretching it, after a while, it no longer comes back to that elastic,
Right.
like elasticity was before, because you stretch it so much. And now it doesn't even look like the same shape it was. So,
Keep going. Is that something you doing, Aisha? Are you stretching yourself to where you do?
But, and I
well,
think about the rubber band that you said. So,
yeah.
I'm making a rubber band ball, because Marcus worked for the ATM. Anyway, but I have every time he brings home a rubber band, I have to stretch it so that it can get into my rubber band ball, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until some of the rubber bands that are old cannot handle it anymore. So much pressure on it. So, it's a word. But that when you said that, it just reminded me, like, so much pressure, you eventually you can't handle it. The tension of it will break eventually. So
Yeah.
that just opened my eyes, as well. Thank you.
No problem. And I just wanted to say before we close, I just want to thank Karen for being here. But just want to give a word of encouragement to every woman navigating, whether you're navigating boardrooms, whether you're navigating meetings, whether you're even talking in breakfast tables. Your leadership is deeply valuable in every role that you carry. Whether you're a mom, whether you're a wife, whether you're a friend, a sister, an aunt, whatever it is. And remember, even if you're making a bold decision at work, nurturing your family, or supporting your spouse or friends, know that your strength, love, and vision is building legacies in both your professional and personal worlds. Being a good leader doesn't mean you doing it all. It means leading with wisdom, compassion, and clarity. And as we said today, yes, it's okay to say yes to what fills you and to say no to what drains you. Because either way, both are some kind of actor strength. So even on the days it feels unnoticed, remember that you are leading with grace. Your impact is greater than you know. And in the midst of all that you carry, remember to breathe, relax, rest, because renewal is part of your strength. And I'm going to end with Proverbs 31:25. I think we all know it. It's King James Version. She is clothed with strength and honor, and she shall rejoice in time to come. So remember, all of us out here, it's okay. You can lead. Remember, leading in a boardroom is not the only place. You can lead anywhere. I did want to lastly say thank you to Dr. Karen. I guess
Thank
we're
you,
putting
Dr.
it into
Karen.
existence.
Thank you,
Like,
Miss
Maybe
Karen.
whatever. Thank
if Dr. Dre can be a doctor, I guess I can be a doctor too.
Right.
Thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It was great to have you here. All of you, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have, don't forget to comment and drop us a note. We will love any other topics you want us to have, or if you want us to bring back Karen, let us know too. Y'all
Miss
have a
Karen would
great
definitely
and
be coming
wonderful.
back.
Oh
Thank you.
We
yes,
definitely got to
yes,
bring Miss Karen back. Definitely.
yes.
It definitely. It was fun. You guys made me laugh. You guys are funny. I love it. And I think it's all about the moments, right? It's all about the
Correct.
moments. So we just enjoyed this one, and I wish you many, many more moments. And
Yes.
look forward to supporting you in the future. So thank you
So
so much.
we will
Thank
catch
you.
you all at the next moment.
Thank you.